We are live. I gotta turn this over. There we go. You guys just did a loop. Okay. Well, we're live, but nobody's on in 47 seconds. That's amazing.
It's a new record.
I guess they're tired of it.
It's Saturday.
Well, Saturday we usually do pretty good. They're on in about 13 seconds.
I don't know if they're live out here. A picture on Facebook.
Oh, of course, got to have Facebook. Got to get Facebook in there. Fuck Facebook.
Yeah. CIA.
Yeah. Well, that turned out nice. Wonky out there?
At our circles?
Yeah.
No, I doubt it. He must be guy.
Oh, he's a combat guy.
Guy. He's into the combat stuff. Yes, Sam's done really, really good in the combat.
Yeah.
Must be nice, be young, have nice fast reflexes.
Still nobody on there in 2 minutes. Unbelievable. Ah, we got one person on now. Took 2 minutes to get somebody on. Unbelievable. Hopefully, oh shoot, I gotta go upstairs and get paper towel.
Or
Blue, you got blue paper towel down here?
not down here. Not down here. I gotta get some more of them. I'm about out of them. We only got about
Well, I know what they use to make flying saucer sounds. Cicadas.
Yeah, it does sort of sound like that in background, doesn't it? Sound like machinery running or something.
Oh no. My last soda, I'm gonna have to be drinking some of your root beer.
It's up there to drink.
Okay. And they are proud of that rubbing compound.
Aren't they? The McGuires.
Yeah.
They're proud of all their products. So I was gonna name 10.
One viewer is all. I guess they're
Yeah, sleeping, nap, playing golf. They'll be out flying if it's finally a good day.
yeah. Best day of the year, and we're stuck with a stupid speed contest.
Yeah. It's just a practice for the gnats. And they're probably gonna go out there and fly, 90% of it will be perkies. Guarantee you. We're gonna do about that.
Yeah. Sand.
2 drops, is that
It's spatter.
better?
What am I gonna do about that? Sand.
Take this bin and throw this bit in the trash. That was hell getting that thing out of there now. I'll tell you what, I have epoxy on that tube and epoxy on the little wheel collar and epoxy down in the damn Allen nut holding the wheel collar on. I had to melt that out to get that loose. Nice to be smart though and know that all you gotta do is put a little heat on epoxy and it'll melt right out of there.
Oh, we got 4 watchers now. The guys woke up. 5 watchers. What do you know? Yay! You must have been watching Facebook. It took 7 minutes. Oh, we're back down to 3.
Must have pissed somebody off.
Dennis out of Mission. Good morning.
Hey, Dennis.
Hell, I didn't know you were a watcher of our channel. I know you're on the Hangouts, but well, I've sanded this leading edge twice now, 3 times. And it looks like it needs it again. Yeah. Now that's the smell I need. So what's happening today is they're out at the circle flying speed or attempting. Flip, 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 flip.
Well, I'll tell you what we always get out there is we get probably 4 of the best speed flyers in the United States out there every year. Carl Dodge, Chris Montagina, Billy Hughes, to name a few.
TJ Villa.
TJ will be out there.
Yeah, the best stunt flyer in the country.
There's 3 or 4 other guys, but I really don't expect much more than 4 guys out there. That's about all we've been getting. They're all dying off. They're all dying off.
Whoa.
Yeah, Chris and Billy, they fly about everybody's airplanes. Carl still flies his turkeys. I don't know that he's flying F2A too much anymore.
Man, it's a bitch. When you don't put enough paint on anything, you don't really have a lot of room.
No, you know. That'd be you start talking double digits in the weight cost. Yeah.
People still don't believe me that these are 6-ounce finishes.
Oh yeah, they are.
Huh?
Oh yeah, they are.
7 tops. Probably make them even look nicer if I wanted to sand more.
Hey, you can only sand so much. You don't know so many mils of paint.
I'm talking prior to paint, if I sanded down 1,000 or whatever. Polish the balsa, but then is the paint gonna stick?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if that.
I only sand down to 320.
I sand a little finer, and I sand 500. Yeah, I hate using these things. Little wire brushes. Clean them little wires out all over you.
So Randy knew right away who owned that motor by the number, huh?
Well, he knew, and I hung up with him. He told me to text him, and I no sooner hung up with him, and he was calling me back.
You can make this look good. Start out with 80 grit, and then down to 100 grit.
I don't think it'll do it. I don't think they'll take that out of it.
Yeah, it will. Lots of it. I mean, You got, what this is brush strokes in it. You see it?
I see it, yeah, but it shouldn't be there. 'Cause I sanded all that stuff.
Well, who's the guy to blame?
Oh, it's all on me. I guarantee you it's all on me. I'd really like to be flying that other plane hanging on the rack out in the garage, to be honest with you. I mean, this one.
Yeah.
But I already had this one set up and it's ready for a 75. And that was not out of paint yet. So I figured put this one up because it's, you know, it was supposedly ready to go, which it wasn't.
Well, if my motor and tank and pipe won't run in your airplane, take it out, throw the airplane away. For some escape, it's like Christine.
Yeah, it very well could be. I've had airplanes like that. I couldn't get them to do anything. I have some airplanes that got foot underfoot, as you might say.
Because that engine,
See, it could be, if anything that Randy was telling me, I don't want to go about this over the air, you know, and say any names or anything like that, but if it's anything that Randy was saying to me, outside of putting another crank in it,
but he'll have crankshafts when he gets this motor running.
well, if they'll fit. You know, you get different runs on that stuff, and they,
Of course, he'll want you to send it to him.
yeah,
And I wish I would have brought my foam pad from St. Louis.
your phone pad.
Yeah.
What?
So I can set this upside down. I still need to take the engine out of this and tighten up that muffler and all that.
I'll keep sanding. I'll be done here in a little bit. Use this one. I don't have two of them.
I know.
Yeah, that's one of them pads to go out and buy that pump for one of them pads for be about $75.
No doubt.
All right, there's a new vent. See how long you got to cut it for. That'll work just fine, that one. I could probably cut off this.
They'll run that thing in the backyard, right?
Yeah. Yep. going out to the field again until I get a good memory on that.
Well, I'll hold it and let you adjust it, but I'm gonna hand it back to you. I ain't holding it for 8 minutes.
I won't hold it for 8 minutes either, because I see that it's running its needle and good. I'll turn it down, nose down, and shut her down. Okay, that's an event. I know there's no possible little pinhole in there.
My nose is running like a freight train.
Well,
Man, there's a lot of rubbing I'm gonna have to do here. Whew. This was not one of my smoother paint jobs. The underside's even worse. But we can bring it back. We have the technology.
another 5 minutes. Rim. Sharp, still don't have any rims. What really chaps me the most is the fact that I can't say never, but I mean, I've been in the past 20 years, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've had.
Morning, Jack. Jack Snavely's on there.
Engineering problems.
This is the second Nats Jerry hasn't been to.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Got the wow factor thing going on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is softer. That's a lot softer.
Not a lot, but some. I think this is your pad here. I sold it.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shit, all this rubbing's gonna take 3 ounces off of it.
I'll wager on that one.
Well, we're getting close.
Okay, dry. Alright, take these little wooden pads off here. Were these on there outside of just to put it on pads, or were they
Now there's
to shim the tank up, or?
nope, just to keep it from breaking the tank. Sounds like the battery's dying. I better get it out of there and charge the other one.
Think we're gonna put one whole piece on this full length?
Yeah.
So do I. So do I.
Here. Plug into this. Let's see what the boys have to say. Nothing. We got 5 likes and 5 watchers. We get a peek what John's doing. You guys don't care what I'm doing. Be careful, this thing's right here.
Okay.
You guys end up on the floor, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Get around there a little bit safer. I'm just putting a pad underneath this CAS tank because it says to mount this thing on the ends. Don't mount in the center, you could crack it. So we got this pipe insulation for keep your pipes from freezing sticky on one side. And I got this Rubatex kind. It's a little bit denser than this kind of Sparky got. It's a very similar product. Sticky back one side. Works great for tanks. You could put it on layers. I always put it on the tank. There's pretty tenacious glue on the back of it. It works great. I've been using it for years and years and years on all my tanks, all my profile airplanes.
$10, you'll get a lifetime supply.
We'll show you the roll here in a minute. That's quick. Nice cushy foam pad. What I did with the rocks. This is the kind I got. R1800FS insulating tape.
Couldn't find that exact number anywhere. Maybe
Rubatex. It also has got R180FS on the side of it. So it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe a little shy of 1/8 of an inch thick. It comes on a pretty good sized roll, about 10 inches in diameter. Of course, you lose about 3 inches in the middle for the tube, but paper on one side, nothing on the other. This is the kind I got. It's a little bit stiffer than the other kind, but they'll both work pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty tenacious. I can't use this. I gotta take this filter off here. I can't use this filter.
whatever. Give it back.
I'm gonna put new fuel line on it anyway.
Good idea. That's 2 years old.
Have all of it
Huh?
in your bag here.
Yeah.
This little pocket on the side. The microphones. See, I'm gonna put position that side down. So I'm good on the back of this side. That side. Like that.
Don't make a science project out of it. Just jam it in there.
Well,
You saw how mine was in there. Just jammed in there.
pretty much. Except now I'm just going to take some little wedges of wood and run across here and glue them on each side just to hold it in there. It's basically foam padded all the way around it right now in a roundabout way. You gotta watch if you're real. This is a clunk tank. You gotta remember that it's not as critical on tank height as a standard wedge tank is. So if you're using this stuff on a standard wedge tank, you want to be cautious about that. It'll change the position of your tank, you know, by an 1/8 inch or so.
Yeah, this process is just so daunting. There's just so much of it.
Nature of the beast.
Six and 6. Like, subscribe, share, super chat. Hey, you, leave a comment. Got to get the metrics up on these videos. Where'd you buy that airplane?
Yeah, where'd you buy that airplane, mister? How much of one of them cost? Been asked that 1,000 times by kids. How much one of them cost? My daddy would buy me one of them. I said, I doubt it.
I'm anxious to get a motor run on this thing to see what it's going to do.
I go through all this and it still doesn't run worth the crap. I'm going to be working real hard out there in the garage. I'm still going to be working real hard out in the garage. Because I'd really rather fly that airplane than this airplane, even though I have no idea how one of those flies. I do know that I went through a teething process for a while trying to find an airplane that I liked the way it flew. And it felt good to me, you know, and it's certain. Yeah, I had Time Machine, which is a pattern master. I didn't like the way that thing flew. I had a Yeah, I guess that's a Sprague derivative, you might say.
Other way around. Pattern Master was first.
Or Pattern Master was first, yeah, and then Sprague and all them came after it. So
Cardinal's a Pattern Master.
I guess I don't need that to stop coming forward.
It ain't going nowhere.
A little bit of epoxy in there on that.
Stupid glue.
Some of my airplanes, I literally had little bolt-in brackets for the tank. And you could unscrew them out of there, not glued in place.
Well, it better work. It's a $700 setup you're putting in there.
Well, I had a $600 setup in it before, and it wasn't working. So
The extra $100 means everything.
well, I can tell you this much. I've seen $1 million cars that didn't run, and yet that $50 clunker got you down the road. My grandson just got his driver's license. He's legitimate.
Let me know where you live so I can stay away from that.
He's not really a hot rodder. He's into Jeeps. He's into off-roading.
Well, you guys aren't very chatty today. I think the reason that muffler came loose is it had aluminum gasket in it, and it spit the aluminum gasket out. And once that happens, it becomes loose.
Yeah. I've never had that happen yet, but you're right. I use that aluminum on mine.
I use nothing.
They always leak on me when I don't use nothing, unless I use Permatex or something like that. Silicone. A lot of times I'll put a heat shield in here, just take a piece of 16th inch balsa wood or put over top of the tank.
Did mine have a heat shield in it?
No,
Pick it up.
doesn't have one in it, does it?
Huh?
Doesn't have one in it. I did have a problem one time with an airplane that was
Vapor locking?
Yeah, the header was a low-rise header, and it was only about 1/8 of an inch off the tank.
Oh, that reminds me, is that header the right size for your airplane?
I set it in there already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only way you could tell is to get a degree wheel and degree all that shit out to see.
I can't see any grind marks on it. You know, you would think that opposed to factory, somebody come through and rework something that you would see a difference in coloration or whatever. Or you would see grind marks or something, and I didn't see anything in there. But the thing ran good on test stand. As soon as you put it in airplane, it didn't run worth crap. Could needle it, but I needled it up and down 500 RPM on test stand and multiple tanks of fuel. So that's set up. I don't know. Put it in the airplane, got fuel, doesn't run.
You want me to go upstairs? I gotta use the bathroom. You want me to go upstairs or down here?
The bathroom right there. I don't care which.
Okay, take the place up.
There, I got air freshener in there now for you.
Need some poopery, which is really just
It's just right.
lacquer.
It's right there.
Yeah.
All right, now
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little piece of this back there on that. Sort of pad that pipe a little bit.
Now, back when Tom Morris was doing these magazines, they were really something.
Yeah, they were nice magazines. They were colored photos and all that stuff.
Lots of text. Or how many of these guys in these pictures are dead?
Yeah, it's hard to say on that. That was back when I could afford to subscribe to all that stuff.
Much better. Ask Randy about the time Ron came over to his his hotel room and took a dump.
Pretty typical.
Huh? Operation.
Operation, Remco's operation. Sounds fun and fascinating game. Cut that a little bit long and sort of slice it down to size as needed.
You got a fuel filter in it?
No, I don't. Don't really have room for one. I should put these on there before I put that over in there.
It ain't bolted in, is it?
No, but we gotta take it down there. Easier. Try and get ahead of myself here. Trying to get ahead of myself here. Still got to use unit stats to get to it. Alright, new fuel line. This goes to the Uniflow line.
It's marked for you.
I didn't have them hooked up because I quadruple checked them. It's probably too long for right now, but we'll just go with that. Ooh, every time I snip that stuff, I think, can't find this stuff hardly.
Just hammer it in there.
Yeah. Not your airplane.
You're gonna have to do something to get them off the header, though.
I don't hardly know where to go until I these stupid motor mounts are drilled for 15 different hole sizes. Of course, they only had 2 holes in them. They do have a tendency to loosen the bolts up on them.
Is that cicadas I hear inside?
Probably right outside that window right there. They're thick down here now.
When I went out to get the paper towels, I swore it was a flying saucer. I mean,
Yeah. It's weird sounding. They're heavier than today down that way.
they sounded like they were in the pipe here. Put your back plate on so you know where it is.
I got it shimmed anyway. All I could do is hold it as far forward as it'll go. That's pretty much what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do with the other one. Far forward until the outside as much as it'll go.
Man, this is going to be a process. I think I'm just going to take some urethane and paint a coat of urethane all over.
There you go. Just slather it all over it. That's just what I do. I like this.
What?
No sense in worrying about that 6-ounce paint job. It's overkill. You need that 15-ouncer.
Shit, more than that.
He needs to bend these tubes when he builds these tanks. Have them at least point forward.
It'll be all right.
They're not going to get off that header. I hope you don't melt them.
They ain't going to melt them. That header don't get that hot.
I wouldn't think it does. Okay. I wish there was a way I could hide this wire tie back here. Okay.
What I should have done was brought my car buffer over here and have you hold this thing while I go.
The big thing is building up enough heat. Sometimes those little ones don't, unless you really start zinging them. Now, you can't go any different than this. This is 100% different drivetrain change out. I don't know if that'll go in there. It might. It might. I don't know if you can wash that out or not. You can look at it if you want to. I would throw it away, but they're hard to find. Let's see.
What's holding it up is them stupid zip ties.
No, they were clear.
Yeah, watch the zip tie when you put it on there.
I guess it is. I guess that one is.
Man, when I tell you something, I ain't bullshitting. Good enough.
Do it like that, and that way you can poke your finger on that every time. I burnt the piss out of myself yesterday on that header. I reached down underneath there. I sold that thing. I must have smelled skin burning. Look at that big white blister on the end of my finger reaching there. Ew, what a pain. A patooey.
Do you guys make your own tuned pipes out of carbon fiber? Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Where's that roll of shit?
In that cardboard box over there.
Oh no, this is that. This is tuned pipe right here, tuned pipe sock. Take a mandrel, spread that over the mandrel, slather the epoxy on it or whatever, bake it.
It's not just about the carbon, and it's not just about the mandrel, it's about the epoxy. And you have to have the right kind of epoxy. And it's expensive, and you have to post cure it, and you have to do various other things. Spinner. I wanted to wanted to do something with that before I.
Just put it on there and let's run it.
I'm gonna have it exactly like it was. It's gonna have the spinner and the back plate and all that garbage on there.
Now you won't have my spinner on there, but
Where'd it go? Still on the engine. There we go.
uh-oh. Might be a problem.
No, I didn't even have to. There's a PA75 in there to begin with.
Yeah, but this prop is drilled out for prop extension. You know. You have to make a spacer.
No, all I need's a nut with the right size extension on it.
Yeah.
I know this doesn't have one on it.
Or you could just run that prop. You got one there. The difference. But they're close to the same pitch. Here, just run that prop on there. That's yours.
I want to check these. We don't necessarily have to do that right now, but I do want to put them both side by side on the pitch gauge.
They're close. I think this one's lost its set because it looked like one blade was different. It's been hanging on the wall for 2 years.
Well, that's good for them.
You tighten that till it strips, then 1/4 back.
Yeah. It seems like that. These aluminum nuts will strip. Thank God we have the technology.
Yeah.
And that's even with hardened aluminum. Okay.
Spinner, air filter.
I didn't have an air filter on before.
You didn't have my engine in it either.
No, but it's just a little bit different header. It's different.
That's exactly my setup. It's different from what you had in it, but
$75, same kind of pipe, same kind of header,
let's go run it.
same kind of motor, different tank, different vent. overflew line. This very well could have been it, but we don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. I heard it fall. I'll cut off a piece of fuel tubing or something. Okay, let's go start it.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go run this vomit cam. Might want to put your dog inside.
Yeah. He was outside the other day when I was running. He didn't do anything. So on the porch and looked puzzled.
Oh, I hear the flying saucers.
Yeah.
I see the flying saucers.
Everywhere.
Man, there's a lot of them flying. Well, any bets, guys? Are we going to get this straightened out? I have the utmost confidence that it'll be fine. There's a bomber flying. Well, I just caught this guy. He's not happy.
Grinding at you.
I let him go. I didn't smash him because he ain't got long to live.
No, they don't have very long to live. My starter battery.
Let's do this in the shade. Gotta burp it. That motor hadn't been run in 2 years.
Yeah.
Drop the switch. Yeah, started up now.
Feel sort of breezy. Really rubbing on the county.
Let's make another washer. Huh?
I had one of them, my shirt blew, blossomed out, and it almost went in the prop. Actually, it's sort of green.
It'll be fine.
Check that.
how tight it was on my airplane.
Yeah.
They're chemtrailing us again.
Right past, right up over the hill. Used to be the mound, Monsanto down Miamisburg, down that way about 7-8 miles. And right down there where Jerry was buying his house. Montana, not too far away from me. Put that thing a little lower, just a little lower. There you go.
Put some fuel in it and run it. What engine is that on John's airplane? It's my PA-75, so I know damn well it's going to work. Didn't even have, like I said, have to adjust another valve. Airplanes are similar weight, similar size. 5.3 top speed. a mating call for cicadas. They came running when he started it. They're all over the place. You started that up, the cicadas started swarming.
You got one on your shoulder, bud. So, John, you got one in the front. Yeah. You better point it a different way.
Point what?
We're done.
Back there.
We're done.
I was trying to do it in the shade.
You can still do it in the shade.
Just don't know. If it feels that there's some vibrations there going on, I don't know what that is.
Could be the spinner. I'd put an aluminum spinner on it if I was you.
No, I didn't do that before.
So it's the engine.
No.
No?
No, that's my engine,
I know, his engine.
I guess. I would put an aluminum spinner on it because we lighten the tank up to gain back the same balance.
It just feels like I'm going to put that prop on the silencer. A lot of vibration there. They're thick.
No?
They're flying.
On your arm.
Yeah, look at them.
Get off there.
I
Like
looked
a
down
Flock of
and
little
there's one
birds
sitting
out
right
there.
here
that
just
are,
staring at me. Jeez.
flock of little birds out there running around. Like the Brodax was.
These are smaller than Brodax cicadas.
Yeah, these are the 7-year
17
or
years.
17-year cicadas, and other ones were like 7 years or something.
Well, you stirred them up, I'll tell you that.
Woke them up. Oh well, let them wake up.
Quicker they wake up, the quicker they croak.
Yeah, they don't got so many hours of existence. Find them a mate and die. The aluminum spinner I got isn't a needle nose spinner. It's a Gravelin T51 Mustang sort of spinner. That'll look okay on there, yeah.
Need a little more weight up there. What are you gonna do about your cowl? Or are you just gonna add another washer?
I'll just put another washer on it if it's still. I'll check and make sure that motor's all the way forward. When Randy makes those holes, that's got all 4 holes drilled out on it. Normally it's only the 2 back ones. I hope that he just drilled 4 holes in them and maybe just blind drills from the bottom halfway through with the other set of holes. And if you want to, you can put them in. If you don't want to, you don't have to have them in, because it really doesn't clamp the motor good when they're oversized like that. Bearing seems tight still.
It's a new motor. Been sitting on the wall for 2 years.
Got about 20 rounds on it.
Probably got 30 on it.
Well, it starts in the needles in the airplane. Unlike that other motor. Now, why would that other motor start needle on the bench but wouldn't start needle? It would start but it wouldn't needle on it's in the airplane.
It sounded fine.
The airplane's a jinx. Pristine.
Now we got a stunt or a speed contest out in the field and we can't go flying.
We can go later on this afternoon, can't we?
No, they'll be there till
Depends on how late they stay there and swiller in their beer.
beer. They don't drink beer. Drink booze.
Sometimes. Carl does.
Does
He
he?
drinks booze. They have a good time when they're out flying. They wait until afterwards though. I gotta give them credit.
Not always. Billy never did.
used to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Captain Gino. He's got really. I wish we had another flying site we could go to. Well, personally, I think Randy might be right.
That's why that motor sold. We couldn't make it run. Look at that dog looking at us. He's wagging his tail.
Let me ask you.
I want out there too. He didn't bother us at all. He sat right here on the porch where I had that test stand out there. He didn't go near it.
I see a dog. I see that dog.
He's such a good dog. Boy, he was a bullhead when he was a puppy, wasn't he?
Oh man,
Woo!
he was bullhead. He was a definite bullhead.
A wagon. He's a wagon.
I know.
I had him over here one day and he wouldn't listen. I took him, I pinned him down on the ground. I wouldn't let him move. Every time he tried to move. And he quit doing that then.
Look at Augie Doggy. Augie
Well,
Doggy.
dang. Makes me want to go fly big time.
Call Haywood and have him call you when they're done out there.
Well, it's sort of unwritten rules.
It's a public park.
I understand that it's a public park. Later in the evening, you probably go up there after 6 or something. They won't be using those circles. There's probably
Got a
only,
grass
there's
circle
probably
too.
only 5 guys out there anyway. There's probably 7 buzzards out there and 5 flyers.
I don't think there's probably 7 buzzards.
Might not be.
There's a lot of old buzzards.
They're all old buzzards.
TJ's the youngest guy out of the bunch.
I think he's the youngest guy in Stunt, or the youngest guy in the patrol
Oh,
office.
club.
He might be. Well, you know, you got your kids, but not too many kids. Sam. Got Derek Berry's little kids that are up and comers. But you never know about kids. They might sort of like it at first and then not want anything to do with it.
Something else comes along.
And one of the guys made a good point about the parents pushing their kids when they're young, and they don't want to do it. You know, it's not that in fun, and when they become adults, I forget it. I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, yeah.
Till they get older, around 50, 60 years old. Oh, let's do that again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go downstairs and take the engine out of my airplane.
Take that.
Yeah, take the engine out so I can tighten that muffler up.
You're gonna put another name on gasket on it?
I don't know. Well, maybe if you got Loctite.
That last one. Sometimes you gotta run them and let it get heated and then retighten them.
This was 1/8 inch loose.
That's way too loose. Probably didn't have any Loctite in. You got lock nuts on it too? Yeah, I put lock nuts on it too.
I can put a lock nut on it.
Or lock washers. You knew what I was talking about. You even corrected me for my glove up. Alright.
You gotta have another sandpaper washer. Look at that, you can see right through the paint, see right through the wing.
That says you had a little bit of paint on. Let me clean my mess up here.
Okay, I'll be downstairs. Where's that dog? Where is that dog? There's that dog. I like dogs. You like people? That good old boy. Okay. Okay. Eight of 10. We've been on an hour and 45 minutes. Good morning, Chris. Like, subscribe, and share. Everybody knows that. I would hope. Let's see here. And we got John's problem fixed. Sorta. Sorta. I need to take all this crap apart. What happened was, this airplane's got one flight on it. And in one flight, the muffler came loose. I'm gonna try to get this one sorted out. I really want to fly this one at the Nats. If I can't get it sorted out, it'll be the Tucker. Hell, we might go back to the old shoe. What the heck's going on here? Shit. Aha, there's a problem. This is too long. Okay. Okay. You were running that at about 7,800.
Well, that's what I turned it back to.
It sounded about right.
That's what I was tacking a little bit. I wanted to turn it down from there before.
That sounded about right. I think we let this one go about 8,500, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around in there. Well, it's not a pipe motor, for one.
Yeah, I know it should be.
Should be less.
Yeah, it should be like 7,000. No wonder why it was going 4.7. Well, are you happy?
Well, yeah, I'm happy. Well, who's not happy?
Where's the cutters?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good. My pipe stay fell off.
The pipes.
Yeah, the thing that I was holding the pipe down with,
Yeah.
it flew out of the airplane. Have to make another one. One flight, and I've already got a problem.
Never ending. Gotta keep on top of them. I know this props no balance, but I don't understand why it's acting like it had all the vibration.
Oh no, there it is, right there. It's still glued to the bottom of the.
Huh.
Okay, good. I don't have to make another one. That's a good one. Where's the
Did I forget it?
I
Nope,
brought
one
one.
engine to the next. They're just that much business. Let's see here. What am I after?
And that gasket completely went away.
Can't get any closer than that.
Try this one. Maybe that's why my pipe vibrated off.
Stay wherever you put it at.
But that was a little heavy.
It's a little heavy, but it ain't much. It's just so. It is a little bit. It ain't much. Might put just a little touch of CA on these two tips. That's what I do, Tom.
Okay, I need some 5-minute epoxy. I can't believe that didn't stick on there.
Yeah. That's hot. Hot, hot, hot.
Yeah.
So, where's the pin vise for the drills? I want to drill a couple little tiny holes in this without going through
In
the
that drawer with the drill bits.
drawer with the drill bits.
Same drawer's always in. This one. This one.
Oh.
That's as close as you're gonna get it. You can't. You can breathe on this thing and make it move. Probably out of balance to the hub.
Yeah, well, we don't worry about that. What happened here? Why'd you break the bit? How'd it break?
Where was that at? In the box?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bound up on something.
Okay. Basically, why we're showing you this, you need to get all these bugs worked out before you get to the field. Five-minute epoxy. This right here. Zap. 5 minutes. Toothpicks. Too many. Okay.
It's got a piece of ink pen in this spinner back plate.
Piece of ink pen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Bic ink pen, the white outer casing on the Bic ink pen
Yeah.
is perfect. Spacer for quarter 28, the 32, whatever they're. What are these? Quarter 28. Shaft goes from right there's a difference in the boogers. This must have been set up for an aluminum spinner to begin with. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay, we got that fixed. Okay, I'll let that dry. Let's see, what do we got here? That's Chris still on there. 13 and 11. That don't look bad. And you got more space too.
Yeah, because this spinner plate, see how it's flush here?
Yeah.
That one's built out on the back.
Right.
So I could take all those sandpaper washers out of it.
I wouldn't.
I did.
You gotta polish that baby.
This airplane might not even be flying there.
Yeah.
There's a high probability that it won't be if I can get busy. I got them stencils now for the paint.
But you still have no flights on it. You gotta put some time on it.
I understand that.
I gotta get time on this thing.
I don't have any time on this thing. I could throw that other airplane up there and not bat an eye because I know how it flies. I'm used to it. So I got a backup that I'm used to.
I do too. Except the paintwork looks like shit.
Well, the paintwork looks like hell on this thing too. It's a 13-pointer.
10 points, guys.
Maybe if it's lucky. It's for not having any plates on. It's all beat up.
Yeah, like my Tucker.
Look at that. That happened just the other day when we were out the field. I hit that with my fingernail real light, and it just.
Well, there's no paint on it. What do you expect?
I cut that out because it got hot and it bubbled all that. That just had a little glow plug hole in it. I said, well, I saw that freaking problem.
That don't look bad.
It would look better if the head actually sat up there, but the head sits down in here about 3/8 of an inch. And it's still bubbled the paint on
You
it.
meant to do that. Where's your blue Loctite?
In one of them little dip pails up in there. Red.
Red.
Tube.
Or just blue. I need it.
I don't even have any red.
I need a
Shake it before.
3/32 regular Allen wrench so I can get some leverage on it.
In the toolbox over there. With the wrenches and back behind all the wrenches. Or here.
These are the Bondis ball drivers, the best. Okay. Little blue lock toad on there. I don't have any lock washers. You got any?
Yeah, probably do.
I got lock washers at home.
Well, they're not doing any no good at home.
Yeah, I know. Let's see, washers. That's the 632s.
They're in there. Pull out that thicker. There you go. One whole box of lock washers. What kind do you want? You want a split washer or you want a star type?
Star type, if you got them.
They're in there.
I know.
Might be in a baggie.
No, them are too big.
There's 4s in there.
Yeah, the 4s are too big. These nuts go down in the hole. So it's got to be a regular lock washer. twos are 256, right?
Yeah.
Too small. Yeah, these are too big and these are too small.
You're just a picky old fart now, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yep, too small. We may not be able to even get these in there. There's one. There's two. I might not be able to use them at all. Randy or Kaz has got them bolts recessed down into the header.
Yeah, I know. You should have just milled that off instead of doing that. The one I made, I milled them. Or he didn't have that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna fit, but we'll try it.
Randy's headers are sort of like that too, where the head of the Allen screw sits down in there a little teeny bit.
Oh yeah, it'll work.
You gonna put foil on it?
No.
Okay, it's your mess.
You got any Permatex?
Mm-hmm. If it's any good. Every time I buy a tube, I open it up and use it on one header and then it goes bad.
Permagoop. I just joined a bit ago. Did John do the motor swap? Yes. It works perfect. Motor, tank, pipe, header, everything out of my high roller went into his airplane.
Here's the lid right here.
Permagoop. I think we'll put it on with a prick, tooth prick.
I'll call Randy. If that's the case, that's really got me chapped. Shit, now I'm thinking that may get, I only get 10 points.
For what?
Fair points.
Why?
Finishing that thing sucks. Terrible.
Well, over there's a bag of 2,000 grit sandpaper and my buffer.
Yeah, that might help. That might help a little bit. I'm not saying it's a cure-all, but that epoxy is set up that you make.
Yeah, it's I made it so it was a little more difficult to come off. I drilled holes in the bottom and holes in that, filled them up and
Yeah.
made little rivets.
There you go.
Let's see what happens.
A lot of vibration and heat right there. Doesn't work very good in combination.
Okay. So that's a permagoop on there. Where's my muffler? Right there. Little bit of red lock or green, blue Loctite. Yeah, green.
Dents all over in it. It's got black fingerprints all over it.
What'd you do that for?
Somebody new did that. Holding on to my airplane.
My hands are. I washed my hands before I came here.
Maybe today. They might be on there from another day.
Okay, now tighten them up till they strip. Back them up 1/4 turn.
Sounds perfect. Sounds like a plan.
You think this thing was a Harley Davidson? It's shit falling off of it.
Except you gotta use an impact wrench to get things apart. Or a hammer driver, or whatever they call them things. Put a screwdriver bit and hit it with a hammer.
The handheld
A
impact.
handheld impact screwdriver.
Okay.
If you had motorcycles, you got one of them in your tool bags.
Couple. Need a zip tie.
I gotta have. You're gonna have to bring some stock back here. What, 6 inch,
Yeah, it's fine.
7 inch? That's got the metal.
Oh, the good one.
They start sort of hard, but they hold pretty good.
Okay. There'll be many nights sanding this.
You'll never get all that out of it. You won't get that stuff out of it.
No. It'll look fine.
I'll get that out. Yeah, it'll gloss up.
I need to make another washer. Or did you throw yours away? Sandpaper washer?
No, they're in that baggie with the spinner. They're sort of oil sick. They might want to make new ones because they're starting to fall apart.
Come on.
Man, I wish they weren't flying that contest out there today. I guess they gotta have fun too. I think I need to get a new set of feeler gauges. You think?
Probably. Don't look like they're feeling well.
Not to mention you can't read any numbers on them. They're all dead. A couple of them are broke off. 3 or 4 of them are broke off. The only thing you can read is the little cheap tape measure on it. Western Auto Stores. How long has it been since you've been in a Western Auto Store?
I don't think I've ever been.
You're more down south. Southern thing. Get her.
Yeah. Yeah, I need one more washer on there. You got a quarter? Maybe I got a quarter. I do. Nope, that's a nickel. I got one. That's a quarter.
You know I got a quarter because you know that I carry $2 in quarters around with me everywhere I go.
Yeah. John carries $2 worth of quarters thinking he's gonna make a phone call at a payphone somewhere.
Or I always got a drink handy. There are still payphones out there. I'm telling you, they are out there.
I ain't seen him.
One out there at the Elkpad.
Yeah, does it work?
I don't know. I've never.
It doesn't work. It's disconnected.
Are you done with this drill bit? Yeah, where did this come from?
Laying right in there.
Did really?
Yeah, you're right. There's one at the L pad, but you can't make a phone call. Did you notice how these are?
Yeah, they're not pointy. Using the wrong scissors for that sandpaper. You're supposed to use them silver ones in there.
Where's them good ones?
Yeah.
I knew enough not to use your good ones.
Yeah, I think I warned you enough on them. So this thing's ready to try. I guess. That looks like hell. You get painting on that other one.
I need to touch up some spots on this
Painting
today.
on the other one. What you guys been saying? You guys saying anything?
I think they've been sleeping. How many we got on there?
Your buff for sitting under John's plane. 10 people on here, 11 likes.
What do you think?
10 people's on here, 11 likes. Says your buff for sitting underneath John's plane. That must be a hint to me about buffing my airplane out.
Yeah.
That's the best way to cut a pin hinge slot by hand. Well, they're sort of hard. You talking about sparky hinges? You gotta make a sanding tool, the right width, the right depth, and you need a depth stop on it. And then you should make a little piece of L-angle wood that sort of slips on your trailing edge surface and keeps it at 90 degrees to the surface. And then sand it until it hits the depth stop. I guess if that's what you're talking about.
Is that about where you set your prop right here?
I slap it down and back against compression, and I set it where it comes up to get compression just a little bit higher. And then when you slap it down, it comes here and bounces and comes back that way.
A little higher.
A little bit higher.
Here. We'll try it your way.
You bounce it. When it comes around, it hits that compression, bounces, fires, and it comes around and goes like that. Yeah, that's about right there. Since we're holding them upside down.
No.
Any amount of rubbing will get this out of there. It might
The sandpaper's
go
gonna,
through all the pain, go get some 600 grit sandpaper on it.
Sando de Bando.
See, it's even got spots where it like bubbled, the covering's not holding in, sort of like the warts on the side of your airplane. And I know exactly why an airplane looks like that. I never went in depth on sanding it. It's because all those little red pinstripes that I put on there pulled paint big time when I pulled the tape off of them. And I had so many repairs on it, I got discouraged, and I just sort of said, let's get it to where I can just go out there and fly it, you know? 30 feet away, it doesn't look too bad. It had a decent weight. I mean, 64 ounces or so, right around in there.
Yeah, put it on the scale now, see what it weighs.
Didn't weigh any more than it did before.
Should weigh less.
If it weighs more, I'm kicking your butt. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Should be less. 80 ounces.
It feels heavy.
I want to weigh this one too. I need to fix that rattling from my wingtip weight.
.13. 61.595.
Told you.
It didn't weigh 64 ounces before, but I was just, I couldn't remember how much it weighed. I knew it wasn't bad weight.
Let's see what this
I mean,
one weighs.
It's pretty nice. Weight wise. Let me tear this again.
$17.35 or 1.739.
$1,739.
Yeah.
$61.383. Both planes weigh about the same.
$61 ounces. 15s. 15 what?
Thousands.
Oh yeah. It's 61 and 58. 3 ounces overweight.
I could lose about a quarter ounce, cut about 1.5 inches of that rubber stinger off the end.
Look at my flap to elevator ratio.
About the same. Not 1 to 1. Although you got more up than you got down. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it's about the same. You might have a little less flap than you elevator, a little bit. I think you need a little bit less. Not a lot, though. Controls are sort of stiff on this one. I'll loosen up there.
Got a grand total of 1 flight on it.
Yeah, you get some fuel down in there and all sorts of stuff, some wax and everything else. It'll come around. I'm surprised the controls on that one are pretty good. No Durbo plastic pin hinges. Still got to do the same thing. You still got to reset the barrel of the hinge into the movable surface. You don't have enough wood thickness to do Sparky's hinges. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You make your hinges to whatever thickness of wood you're making your flaps to.
This is the top here for it. The reason it hardens it doesn't seal.
It's split in two. I got it taped together.
Where'd this come from? This drawer?
Yeah. Are you using just regular flat pinned hinges, or are you using a hinge point pinned hinges? Let's see something here. Messing up yet. There's 3 kinds of hinges that you can get. And one of these is like Robart hinge point hinges, a little round thing with hinge in it, or a regular, like a door hinge, piano sort of little piano hinge. Or these are Clet from years ago. They're like a pinned hinge, except they got a little wider area made on them right around where it pivots at. And it's like a 6-point, it's like one of these hinges, except it converts into a point out on the end of it, so it keeps it where it won't rotate. I think you might be talking about this kind. That little round hinge. Am I correct? Standard plastic flat pin hinge.
Yeah.
Same thing. Okay, regular Durbro hinge. That's this kind of hinge right here. All right, same holds true. You got to measure the barrel of that hinge. And this is sort of exaggerated here. Well, here's one that's pretty close. Mark all my hinge locations wherever you want them at. The width of this hinge, you know, from here to here, end of the pin to end of the pin. Now, I take all these, I cut that pin out of it, and I put a piece of music wire in there that's the next size smaller than that pin, and just bend an L angle. And when you shove it in, you stick the end of that L angle in with it, and that keeps it from coming out. But you make a piece like this, a little piece of 16th inch, not quite 16th. It's the diameter of that barrel. Put that on there. That barrel sits flush with that. Now this acts as a depth stop. That sandpaper is the width of your hinge. As you can see on there, it's the width of the hinge. And then you put your marks where you want your hinges. And you take this thing and slide it up and down, sand it up and upside down until it goes down and it hits this on the leading edge of your flaps or your elevators. And that's your depth stop. And every one of your hinges will be exactly the same depth, the diameter of that barrel. And you always glue all your hinges in your moving surface first. You put them in there part way. And then here's say your flap. We use this as a flap or an elevator. You put them in there not quite all the way. Now this will be notched here a little bit for this to go down in there. Put them almost all the way, and then you put them up against a flat edge, like the edge of your workbench or something, and you push them all in at the same time, and they all push in there square. They won't be tilted one way like this. If you put them all in there and then push them in on a flat surface, they'll all push in square. That'll straighten them up. Push them down into that recess that you made, and they'll be perfect. Let them dry, and then put them in the fixed surface, the wing or the stab. It works very good. I do suggest these things, if they click at all, if they don't move, they bend, and they stay like that, they need work. Take that pin out, put a smaller piece of music wire in them. Clean that while you got them apart. Take a X-Acto knife or whatever and clean out any flashing in there. If they click, definitely you got to do that because there's flashing in there that'll making noise. You want them hinges just to sit there and flop on their own. They should never stay like that. They should, just on their own weight, just flop down. Best way you can to get nice free hinges.
Or make mine.
Or you can do the Sparky thing, do his kind of hinges. I'll show you what I'm talking. I'll just do a little test stand here piece for you. You find a piece of scrap, 1/4 inch wood or something.
Let's see here. Cool, thanks. Helps a lot. Second one you showed me. Oh, that's Chris.
All right. Now, normally, I have my hinge slots already cut in this, and then this will be your elevator or flap, and you're more than likely you'll put it like a point on this. You'll
Get up there and show them close.
You'll bevel this. Normally you'll bevel the edge. Pretend this is a flap or an elevator. Normally on the end here, you'll bevel this to a point right in the center line. You'll have a center line drawn that there. You bevel to a point, and all your hand slots will be cut on that center line. Now I'll have that sanded at a bevel before I use this piece, before I cut it. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to do this quick without actually making something. There's a sanding block down there handy underneath that table right there. I don't care what grit it is, anything, 80.
Yeah.
So here's what you got. You got the trailing edge. You got the trailing edge of your or the leading edge of your elevator or the leading edge of your flaps is going to be sanded to this point like this. All right, and then you're going to have a mark on there wherever you want a flap or a hinge at. And you've already got the grooves cut, the slots that the hinge goes down into. So you're going to have some marks on there. Shows you where you want to do that at. And you're going to take this little piece like this. You're going to line it up on them marks. And you're just going to start sanding like this. You're going to keep sanding until it bottoms out. Won't go no further. Don't wiggle these up and down. You keep them 90 degrees to one another. Okay, now you heard it. It quit sanding because it's hitting on this side, each side out here. On the leading edge of that. It won't sand any deeper than that. Now there, you made your slot for your hinge pin. Where'd my hinge go? There it is. Now you've made a slot that's the same thickness as the round barrel on that hinge. You made a little recess in there. Now what that'll do is when you glue that in there and you push them all in the same depth, they'll come out flush with this top edge. And when you push that in, they'll be glued in your moving surfaces first. When they're dry, then you put them in the fixed surface and you push them in until this point touches the trailing edge of your fixed surface. And you'll literally have no gap. But you'll have this bevel on here that'll give you 45-degree movement in each way. So you'll have 45 degrees up and down the elevator and flaps. You don't need more than that. Don't need 90 degrees. 30 is about all you really need, and that would be a panic situation. But that'll put that hinge in there. You'll have a nice tight hinge gap. You'll get plenty of deflection. Piece of cake. I haven't taped a hinge line ever. Of course, you can't see daylight through my hinges typically either, and I do them 90% of them just like that, unless I'm using even sparky hinges. You can't see daylight in them. There's no reason to see big gaps in your moving surfaces. Absolutely no reason. But that's hinging tutorial, I guess. Same holds true with any of these hinges. It doesn't matter what kind they are. You still don't want a hinge gap. And some guys will say, well, just leave an 1/8 inch in there and just tape it. No, it looks like crap.
Yeah.
Looks like you were asleep on the job. Take the time, do it right, or don't do it. That's how I see it. But scrap balsa wood, make you up one of these. Different ones for different size hinge pins. Whatever the barrel is round is how thick this little piece of wood needs to be with the sandpaper on it. Works like a champ. Is this one ready to fly now?
Yeah. I mean, I got a month's worth of rubbing to do, but
Well,
yeah, it's ready to fly. Want to paint that white square and the black square on the bottom today.
I need to put those stencils on there and paint them.
I guess we'll do that after lunch, huh?
It sounds like a good idea.
Kyoto's
I need to try to get some clear on that thing.
Emilia son quattro.
All right, Chris, I hope you got something out of that, bud. It's really isn't rocket science. I mean, right here's what I did. I did the same thing. This airplane right here's got those hinges in it. Just like I told you. And it's recessed back into the moving surface. Now these are fixed, but they're adjustable flat trim tabs. But they're recessed in the moving surface, butt up to this.
Now, he'd have a 60-ounce airplane if he didn't have all those extra hinges in there.
Well, I don't think you use enough hinges.
3 is plenty.
But I think they need a minimum of 4 for flaps and 3 for elevators.
No.
That's me. I think it helps keep it from tweaking
Yeah.
in case you get real
What do the
soft.
Chinkles have on them?
I don't know, 4.
No. 3 for flaps and 2 for elevators.
Well, they're also all fiberglass too, but I'm no Russian engineer. Yeah, put this prop in your bag. This is your prop, isn't it?
Yep. All right, guys, I think we're going to do lunch. It's about a good time, don't you think?
Yeah. 12:41. Yep. Good time for lunch.
So the plan of attack for today is when we come back from lunch, going to go out and paint a little. I got a couple of touch-ups I need to do on this. And then later on in the day, we may go out to the field. I need to put this on the battery charger. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you after lunch.
Thanks.
Bye.